What's up guys? In this video we're gonna go through 10 mistakes that new RX8 owners make. This is a fix and an upgrade of the previous video, so let's jump straight to number 1.
Improper starting and stopping. The proper way to start your RX8 is to put it in neutral, turn on the ignition, wait a few seconds, and start the car without adding any gas. Once it's on, let it warm up for 2 or 3 minutes, and when the temperature needle starts moving, you are ready to drive. To shut it down, there are 2 variants. If the engine is warmed up, put it in neutral and turn off the ignition like in any other car. If it's still cold, let it idle for a while, and when the RPMs drop to a stable 800, you can shut it down. PS. Never ever rev a cold engine. If you happen to drive a cold engine, shift at 4000 RPM max. Number 2. Never shut it down when it's cold. If you turn on your car, move it 2 meters and shut it down, you risk flooding the engine. And the weaker the ignition system, the higher the risk. At number 3, we have buying cheap eBay ignition components. Ignition is a big deal for the RX8, so the best upgrade for it is the BHR ignition coil kit. It will cost you a couple of $100 more, but it is a long-term investment that eliminates the need to continuously replace coils, and they deliver a stronger spark so your engine will run at its full potential. At number 4, not revving it hard enough. If you baby your engine with the excuse to save fuel, then please stop. You are not saving fuel at lower RPM, and you're risking bad carbon buildup. So every drive or every second drive, rev it up to 9000 RPM to help burn carbon deposits that built up from lower RPM driving. PS. You don't have to drive at a still 9000 RPM. Go from 1st to 3rd to 4th gear by shifting at 9000 RPM. Number 5. Fear of premixing. Whether you want to premix or not, it's up to you. If you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to. The engine will run just as well. But if you want to sleep better at night, you can check out the video on how to premix. The link is in the description. Number 6. Not checking or overfilling the oil. Oil is like blood for the RX8, so if you run out of it, it's game over. The 13B has a tiny sump. If you overfill it, the oil overflows into the intake manifold valves and they gunk up. So pour small doses and check in between them. Number 7. A bad ignition system. Keep your ignition system in a mint condition if you want to experience the full potential of your car. This includes ignition coils, spark plugs, wires, and starter engine. Number 8. Using cheap gas. You can use 87 octane or European 95 octane fuel. However, if you experience a knock or a ping when running 87 octane fuel, you should run a higher grade fuel to prevent possible damage to the engine. If you're using premix, I think a mid-range 89 or European 98 octane should be the minimum you put inside. Number 9. Neglecting your cooling system. If you buy an old RX8, check the state of the cooling system, because the engine generates a lot of heat and you need a healthy cooling system to maintain the proper working temperature. So remember to do regular cooling flushes, and don't let 4 years pass in between them. Every second year is a good middle point. Number 10. Repetitive short trips. If you don't get the engine to temperature for at least a few minutes, you increase carbon buildup dramatically, which leads to all sorts of further problems. So if you're constantly doing repetitive short trips, you are better off with a second car. If so, you can check out what is the best second car for RX8 owners right here. So that concludes our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video useful, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more.